but it's something I feel myself being dragged back into, you know, that famous phrase of just when I thought I was out, you dragged me back in. And I've always been a massive fan of Football Manager, played it since it was Championship Manager, which is a long time ago, and I just adore it. I think I prefer being a football manager to actually playing football, as funny as that sounds, but I love Football Manager. There's so much depth and detail. You know, I call it Excel Manager because it's kind of like spreadsheet central. My girlfriend called it Project Manager, which is not really too far off the mark, but I love it. If you like football, and if you like statistics and analytics and analysis and like cause and effect and consequences and tactics and strategies and all sorts of things, then you probably love Football Manager if you've never played it. There are different ways you can play the game. There are kind of like light versions which don't have as much detail, but I'm a hardcore Football Manager player. I'm only going to be playing the hardest of hardcores. Speaking of which, we are playing as Crystal Palace. It doesn't have, just for the Premier League, I believe, and probably the German League, it never used to have either, the official crests. Obviously it's got all the names, all the player names. You can download them, like people mod it and stuff like that. I just haven't done it yet. I'll do it at some point probably. It doesn't really worry me too much, I've got used to it. But yeah, here we are. I'll try to explain as much as I can as we go through. But bear in mind, this is quite an in-depth game, and really it's one of those ones where you have to like jump in to kind of truly experience it. As I said, we're playing as Crystal Palace. This screen will show us, this is our home screen. We can customise it with different things that we want in here, which is pretty cool. But this is the kind of default layout, which tells us our league position. Obviously the league hasn't started. Tells you team stats, any promises you've made, your balance. So at the minute our overall balance is 22 million in debt, but we still have an £8 million transfer budget, and any players we sell will get 75% of that revenue. We have a wage budget of 1.4 million per week. Yes, this is how much Premier League teams spend on wages. We're currently spending 1.462, so we have about 21,000 left to spend. Oh yeah, there you go, it tells me there. Which is not a huge amount for Premier League. That's per week. Yeah, I mean footballers get paid a lot of money, guys. Spoilers. We have our job security. We can tell us here some team news. Our fixtures coming up. These are friendlies, hence the FR. And then on the 12th of August. I forget, they do it the bloody wrong way around. We have Watford away. That's our first game of the season, as it would have been for Crystal Palace, and we lost it. Guess what? We lost a lot of games. We have our inbox, which tells us like our emails basically. So this one, so my name's Phil Plays. Today confirmed the appointment of Phil Plays in Newcastle at Sellers Park. Plays enjoys a growing reputation within football, and his hope to this point will take Crystal Palace onto bigger and better things. Well, I hope so. Although we haven't done anything yet so far. And then this is Steve Parish, who is actually the chairman of Crystal Palace, although I don't have a picture of him. I'd like to formally welcome you to Crystal Palace. The board would like to assure you they can rely on their full backing, and they look forward to working with you. In terms of your contract with the club, you've been given a deal until June 2018 worth £37,500 per week. Again, paid pretty well. We've got a director of football called Dougie Friedman. Dougie Friedman is a Crystal Palace legend, and he's responsible for offloading players even permanently on loan. So he can sell players for us. We don't have to worry about that. Okay, so we have some philosophies which they want to have us adhere to, which is to sign young players for the first team and develop players using the club's youth system. This is not like much different from what Crystal Palace want to do in real life. Different clubs have different things. Like Man United might have like signed star players because that might be their philosophy. Let's attend a meeting. I feel welcome to Eagles, blah blah blah. Great, let's get it started. Looking forward to the club and achieving big things. Okay, so obviously there's a lot of history. The fans really appreciate when a newly appointed manager's taking time to increase their knowledge of the club. Appreciate you might know a fair amount. Okay, sure, send me over a detailed overview. I probably won't read it. The philosophy is, he's just saying, are you happy to be judged on these? I don't to hold a press conference. New manager, yep, be good for me to meet the journalists. Thanks for answering my questions. I'm now going to hand over the meeting to the assistant manager. Okay, thanks. Hope I have a long and successful career at Crystal Palace. Hi Phil, I'm Ray Lewington, the assistant manager. Got some questions to ask you on a day-to-day running. Yeah, it'd be great to see a summary. Would you like to arrange a meeting with the rest of your staff? Yes, that would be useful. That's just telling me about different things he can do for me, but I'll assign all that later for the stuff I don't really like doing. I can make a board request and stuff like that, but obviously it's a bit early for me to start making demands, you know. So this is just letting me know that from a transfer point of view, we've got some players out on loan right now. Keshi Anderson, Ryan Innes and Johnny Williams, and we've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek, one of my faves, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and Timothy Fosu-Mensah. As an injury update, we have, so the way this works with injuries is that if a player's injured at the time of this game coming out, they'll be injured at the beginning of the season. So even though, like, well, Mamadou Sakho wasn't technically a Crystal Palace player at this stage, if they had signed any players up until the game's released, they will be in your squad at the first day. So it's not because Football Manager comes out like a little bit into the season, it can't be totally realistic from day one, you know. The same way FIFA updates its squads and things like that, so does Football Manager. But Sakho's injured for 3 weeks to 2 months, so he might be back for the first game of the season, but it seems unlikely. Suarez, he is going to be back. Papa Suarez, by the way, he broke his leg in a car crash. Yeah, he's been out for 10 months, but they were worried at one point that he was never ever going to even play football again. So the fact that he came back was incredible, and he is like back now. Connor Wickham is out for 5 to 6 months with torn knee ligaments, which is pretty rough. And Zaha, who's technically one of our best players, I'll go through all this as well, by the way. He's out for 3 to 4 months. Recurring injuries. Christian Benteke has a recurring groin strain. Scott Dan has a recurring groin strain, and Connor Wickham has sprained knee ligaments. Yeah, well, he's actually out full time. So I think this is just saying that you need to be careful to monitor these players who have recurring injuries. Responsibilities. Okay, we want to change this up a little bit. So we want to retain hiring and firing. We want to retain players of the first team and young players, and a new signing contract negotiations. So I'm going to let my head of youth development do that. Finalises. Yeah, we want to be able to finalise, have the final say on transfers. And us finalise incoming. So I'm going to get my youth. Actually, sorry. Let's get Dougie to handle the youth team players. I'll do the first team. The first teams. Okay, Dougie's going to do this. So this means he's going to like tout our players out who are transfer listed or want loans. Okay, so first team will decide the contracts. We'll get our youth development guy to do that. These are all real guys as well who are actually holding this role, by the way. Yeah, we'll do that. Sets us out. Okay, good. Updates. And handle scouting meetings. Great. So training for the senior squads. I don't really like training, so I'm actually going to give that out to other people. And I can still tinker with it a little bit if I want to, but I'm going to give it to my assistant to do. Richard Shaw for the under-18s, and then Paddy McCarthy, the under-20s. Both of those are ex-Palace players as well. Okay, we can confirm that. And then Ray Lewington is going to arrange friendly matches for us. Okay, and I think opposition instructions I'll give to him as well, and we'll do that. You'll see about that later. Okay, so they're set up to use our first team tactics. I actually think I don't mind them playing to their strengths a little bit more. I'd rather them get results than necessarily play the same way I do. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we've done that. Team report. So this gives us like an overview, I guess, of how our team is doing. So in our strengths, there are a number of talented young prospects, including Sully Kaikai. I like Sully Kaikai a lot, actually. He's a very good player. In fact, he's in our under 23s at the minute, but I'm going to move him to our senior squad because I like him that much. This guy, Jason Iyenga Lokilo, he's a right attacking midfielder. He's still quite young, so I'm going to leave him in the under 23s. Michael Phillips is defender, and again, yeah, it's not that good actually, to be fair. Sacco's the best defender. Yeah, it doesn't really take a genius to work that one out. Soiree is one of 4 good options at left wing back. That's interesting. So we have a decent left wing back in Soiree. It's some good stats from him there. Andros Townsend is the best of 5 players to be able to play on the right wing. Sacco represents superb quality at centre back. Papasora represents very good quality at left wing back. Johan Kabai represents superb quality in central midfield. Strength, a physically strong squad with little to worry about in that department. The team in general are impressive jumpers and will always be able to compete aerially. So what are our defensive weaknesses? Could do with more than just Martin Kelly to be able to play at right wing back. So if we want to play a right wing back, we only really have one player who can play there. This tells us how many players can play in that position. We don't have a sweeper. No one ever plays the sweeper anymore. It's such a, it used to be such a good tactic, but I think the offside trap coming in, or the offside rule, just destroyed it, really. I still always remember great German sides playing with sweepers, and it was just fantastic. Like quality depth up front beyond Christian Benteke, yeah, as in with real life. There's no great deal of quality depth outside the first team. Okay, like quality depth in goal beyond Wayne Hennessy, yep. Martin Kelly's the only decent option at right wing back. Okay, with just 8 million, there isn't much in the transfer budget, correct? There isn't much in the wage budget either. The squad lacks decision making. The squad ranks in the bottom third of the competition for work rate. That's not good, and the squad isn't the best in terms of overall teamwork. There aren't enough players who have a first touch of significant quality, room for improvement on the coaching team, room for improvement on the scouting team. Okay, so it's saying that they lack a bit of teamwork and work rate for the players we've got. Let's have a look at our squad depth. So they're saying, like, up front we have Christian Benteke, but then after him Wickham's out long term, so there's no one else really. Jeffrey Schlupp is not a striker. Midfield, Kabai, MacArthur. We actually got some decent central midfielders there. Loftus-Cheek as well. This is like, I chose 5-3-2 wing back because that's usually the formation I actually play in Football Manager, but I think I might have to change it up a little bit because we are more suited to playing, like, say for example, could we play like 3 at the back, like that, or actually like a 3-4-3 maybe, perhaps not like that. Anyway, but the point would be that we could then bring in like a Zaha and Townsend who are obviously a lot better punch, and Sacco. Defence-wise, we have 3 decent central defenders actually. Actually, we have some pretty good. This guy's a central defender as well, isn't he? Gyro. Oh shit, sorry. Wrong. And then Fonsu Mensa. So actually, central defensively wise, I think we're pretty well covered there. Goal is a problem. Hennessy's a bit of shit. So really, I'm looking for a goalie and a striker, I think, with my 8 million, which is not a lot of money, by the way. Tactics we'll get into a little bit later. Dynamics. Okay, this is like the overall, like, that's interesting. Team leaders are Zaha and Speroni. The team's collective mental state is slightly disappointing at the moment. This will slightly impact player performance, positioning during matches. Players will experience some issues with their vision. Okay. You have to be very happy. Okay. You've got a strong influence over a number of players. Okay, interesting. And if they gave us a good price, I'd be tempted, although he's a damn good crosser of the ball. So actually, let's have a look at this and go through what this is. So this is a player here, Joel Ward. Some will have their faces. Again, you can download the packs to have all of theirs because they don't have the Premier League rights. Current Premier League players won't have their faces, but other leagues will. Obviously, he's 27, English. That's his international tally, no youth caps. He's contracted to Crystal Palace. He's valued at 11.25 million. That doesn't necessarily mean that if I wanted to sell him, I'd get that much. Obviously, it could vary wildly. He's on 35 grand a week. The coaching summary is telling me that he's a good 3.5 stars. That's probably the minimum level you would want in your team. 3.5 stars. Obviously, if you can get a 5-star player, that's incredible. And that's a very basic overview, though, of what a player is. Then it gives you all of his stats. So these ones which are kind of highlighted are the ones he needs specifically for the position of right back. If I change it to different ones, then it will change. If I change to fullback and stuff like that, you can see it changes. He needs different things for different positions. So in a position like right back, you might just think, oh, right back, that's just a right back. Oh, no, not in Football Manager it isn't. You have 5 different variations on the right back. You have the wing back, you have the full back, you have the defensive full back, the inverted wing back, and the complete wing back. That's right, there's plenty of choice here. And they can also do different things like defense, support, attack, and automatic. So, yeah. Now, this tells you how good he is at playing in that position. So obviously he's mostly suited to playing as a wing back, whether that's attack, automatic, defend, whatever you want basically. And yeah, these tell you that these are the stats, specific stats which are good for him. Obviously other stats are useful as well, but these ones specifically are really good. He's got really good work rate and teamwork. His tackling is very good, his crossing, anything above 15 is generally regarded as good. Between say about 12 and 15 is regarded as, well, okay, anything above 15 would be very good. Anything above 18 would be excellent. Anything between about 12 and 15 would be okay, good, So he's got excellent determination. His teamwork's really good. One place, his finishing's only 5, so that's bad, but being a defender, he wouldn't be expected to have good finishing, so you got to bear that in mind. Other things like telling you, so he needs match practice, be ready for the new season, so his condition, and his match practice here, so match sharpness, so he'll get that up by playing in actual football matches, so that's what friendlies are for, really, to get that sharpness going. Tells you other things like his height, his weight. We can get into all sorts of things like his bonuses and stuff like that in his contract. We can offer stuff. We could transfer list him. We can have a look at everything to do with this guy. Coach's report on him, which tells you stuff about him. It's just so detailed, trust me. It's so detailed. It even gives you a little biography of him as well, which is pretty good. So overall he's made 116 appearances for Crystal Palace. Very good servant, Joel Ward. Very good player. If we probably had a look at Speroni, yeah, he's made 361 appearances for Crystal Palace. He is a Crystal Palace legend. Played there nearly his whole life. He's even got a restaurant in Croydon as well called Speroni's. And yeah, this is pretty much the Crystal Palace squad that you see nowadays, really. I don't think we've added anything or lost anybody apart from this. I don't think so anyway. So yeah, really just one striker. You can see this position here now. Players have positions they can play in and positions where they're more natural in. So the level of green, or even it goes to other colours, it's how natural they are in that position. So Sonny Kaikai's natural position is an attacking left midfielder. He's not quite so competent as a striker or an attacking midfielder or a right, but he could play there. It's not out of his range. But if say Martin Kelly, he can't play. He's not suited as play way it goes. So what do I do? Like first day. This is kind of like first day, and this is really. We may not even advance past this episode because there's lots to do. It's kind of ridiculous, but there you go. So we have a look at the squad now. I've got to kind of make a decision on who I want to keep, who I don't want to keep. So Baba Suarez also wanted by someone in China. If we could get a good price from China, that would be good. James McArthur's wanted. Now, realistically, I need to sell some players because I need to get some players in, and I don't think 8 million is going to cut it. But I'm not going to transfer list anybody right now because we might need them. We don't quite know what's going to happen. We don't know what position we're going to play, or quite what we're going to do yet. So we've got to bear that in mind a little bit. So training is going to be taken by what do you want? Probably team cohesion to begin with, I think, and then maybe some match tactics. No, actually, let's focus on teamwork. Okay, no, cancel. Fine, you can do that, Ray Lewington. But general training, we've done team cohesion. Individual training, Ray Lewington took care of that, so players will be kind of worked from there. Coaching wise, this is the levels of coaches at each different areas. Yeah, when I said this game's detailed, I wasn't joking, guys. Now, one thing I can already see is our fitness coach is pretty shit. He's only a 2-star. He goes up a little bit when we take him off. So when you give them more stuff to coach in, their overall ability to coach lessons because they have less time, if that makes sense. So looking at this now, we probably need like another goalkeeping coach. I know we kind of do have 2 goalkeeping coaches. I'd say that's fine. They're not good, but we can work on that. We definitely need fitness coach though. Now if I go to the club, this should tell me, is it here? Again, this I might be a little bit spotty on no staff. Here we go. This will tell us how many coaches we're allowed. So we're allowed 3 more. You can see the size there. We filled 6. We're allowed 3 more, and we're allowed 11 more recruitment, and we're allowed 5 more medical. Now we don't have a chief doctor or a sports scientist, so we can place an advert for a head of sports scientist, and then maybe a actual sports scientist, and then we've got 3 physios. I think that's fine. And then we can't get a chief doctor, apparently. We can't advertise that. We want to advertise for some scouts. I think just normal scouts. We've got 4 data analysis and 1 chief data analyst. Oh my god, I can't even say that. So that will bring that up. And then we want a fitness coach. Okay, we can search for these manually as well, but to save a bit of time, we'll do it this way. Let's get in 1 more actual coach, and maybe we'll have a look for a goalkeeping coach as well. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, like we can just search manually, so we could look at like getting Tony Adams in or something. But this playthrough will be hundreds of hours long if I actually do it that way. I normally do it that way, by the way, so bear that in mind. Under 23s, we've got 3. Probably want to get another coach in there. Under 18s, oh man, we only got 1 coach. We need an under 18 assistant manager. I want to place an advert for under 18 goalkeeping coach. Gotta get our under 18s going if we want to, you know, expand. And coach as well. Okay. Now the thing about the coaches is that will come out of my budget for like overall wage budget. So you know, by increasing that, it might mean that I can't quite get the player I want. Okay, he's saying like, okay, that's tactics. We're not going to do that yet. This is just telling me that we're searching for all these coaches. We can have a lot of emails. Okay, so we've had a look through there. Probably now want to have a look for some scouting. Okay, You're trying to sell me a winger. I don't want him. I don't want wingers. I don't want wingers. It's a young striker who we could potentially get on loan. Okay. Carl Norton, that's a right wing back, but he's very expensive. Okay, that was his recommendations, our chief scout. He's a bit shit, isn't he? Okay, this is all kind of new to me, so okay, let's scout. I need a goalkeeper. Goalkeeper. It needs to be at least 3.5. Age. Can we just have like any up to? I probably don't want anybody over like 33. Availability. Yeah, now. Set focus. Okay, general. Can we add another one in as well? Okay, cool. So we can put a striker in. Maybe like an advanced forward. Or actually, any role would be fine there. Again, probably want somebody at least a 3, I think. Maybe like a 3, at least a 3.5 there. Available now. Okay. Alright, so they should have a look for some players for us there. Recruitment team 4 unassigned. Okay. So is this kind of like replacing? Oh, because we can still do just a player search if we want to. Wow, okay. So we can have a look at who's transfer listed at the minute. If someone's transfer listed, it means that we're going to be able to buy them a lot easier because the club would have set a price for them that they want for that player. So, for example, Charlie Adam, he will have in his transfer section, it will say their asking price is 4 million for Charlie Adam. Now, I don't want Charlie Adam, but like it's a lot easier to buy players who are transfer listed than to buy players who aren't. Oh, this guy actually is a decent right wing back. Interesting. 6 million, what do they want for him? 2.9. So let's scout him. Yes. So that means they can scout and have a look at him. Now he's wanted by a few other teams. My only concern with him, and this is where things start getting into like, is because he's Japanese, we might struggle to get him because of work permits. So, okay, let's search for a goalkeeper. Work permits mean that, like, as in with real life, you can't just come to the UK, get a job and live here. If you currently, anyway, live in the EU, you can do that. If you don't live in the EU, you have to apply for a work permit. In football, to qualify for a work permit, I believe you have to have played 90% of your country's international matches. So in other words, you have to be a very high level player, or there can be special dispensation if you are, say, like a special player, like a really good youngster or something like that. But that guy's interesting. So transfer wise, there's not really that many like good goalkeepers. I remember this guy, yeah, Bogdan Labont, Romanian. Okay, so there's not that many of them. How about a striker? Who have we got? Rudy just stood. He's a target man. I mean, he'd be a good backup for like Benteke, but yeah, 6 million is probably out of our range. And then you start getting to the point of like, would any of these players be better than just me using a youth team player? 26 French, actually not terrible, you know, when you look at it. If he's a striker, I mean his first touch is terrible actually, yeah, no, I'm out. And then we have this guy, he's actually not terrible either, but I guess for the price he is, he wouldn't actually be a terrible signing, because he's cheap as heck. Actually, we can have a look. I always like to have a look at. Here we go. Contract status expired. So these are people who are not currently with a club. There are sometimes some pretty big names here. So let's have a look here because we can do it by caps. So Shay Givens there, Sedu Keita, Emir Sasic, Suleiman Tari. I remember Suleiman Tari used to play for Portsmouth and went to like AC Milan. Bakary Sagna. Right? There's a right wing back for us. Potentially scout him. He'd probably be pretty expensive though. Marouane Chamakh. Jesus Christ. No, I'm not signing Marouane Chamakh. He used to be a Palace player for those who don't know. Julio Baptista, the Beast, the Brazilian Beast. So have we got Emmanuel Eboué. You know what? He won't be a terrible. He's not really a wing back, is he? Doesn't really play it too well. If you say play to player out of position, it would basically mean they wouldn't play as well potentially. I mean, they could play pretty well. Depends how like versatile they were. I'm just looking here to see if there's any like big names I know. Mathieu Flamini was a Crystal Palace player. Lee Hendry. I don't know whatever happened to that guy. Joel Ekstrand. I have this like, you may think I'm like clicking through these players quite quickly, but I have like tuned Football Manager vision to be able to select the best players I can. I remember Leon Best. I wonder whatever happened to him. I think he got badly injured, didn't he? But I remember when he was kind of touted as like a big player. I was never seen of again. But really, yeah, there's not really that many. Alou Diarra. I could probably scout him. I think he's ex-Arsenal, isn't he? Marcin Vasilishevsky, 37-year-old Polish defender. Yeah, I'm okay, thanks. Wilson Palaciov, Estonian attacking midfielder Joel Lindberg, Lucio, Brazilian centre back. Oh, that's yeah, he used to play for Bayern. He was decent in his day. I think his best days are past him though, to be fair. Sedu Keita would probably be a decent signing actually, no, but he is 37 and I'm not really sure. I mean, I'll scout him, sure, why not? The thing about these guys is they're going to be dirt cheap, so, because you don't literally have to pay anything, apart from like a signing on fee and stuff like that. And then finally, let's just have a quick look at players who are loan listed, because as embarrassing as it is for a Premier League side to loan players, I mean we did get like, oh, probably want to go back to this. We did get Bobby. We have got a couple of loanies. Ademola Lookman, he's a good player. I would definitely loan him if Everton would allow me. He could play up front as well. Do you think they'll allow it if I make an offer? Can I not loan him? Okay, cool. I can't get any more domestic based loanies. So, I can't really loan anybody. It's a shame, because there might be some pretty decent players there. I could loan somebody from a foreign country, but there aren't many around to do that. As in, a club would have to be a foreign club. I think technically, like, Scottish would count. Let me just see if it would. Oh, it would, yeah. But I can't from the Premier League, basically. I can't loan anybody from the Premier League. And a lot of other countries don't really do that many like loans, you know, so bear that in mind. Okay, well, we've got our scouts looking. search through, as well as increasing the knowledge of and player role visibility of players covered. Youth packages covered it. Oh, okay. So we can. Oh, so we can scout like more. We can look for more players. So we probably want to upgrade that to Europe. Let's see, like Leo Messi. And then if we go back to transfer status, that's interesting. I haven't seen them doing this type of thing before. So we can see there's actually some other players, more interesting players, shall we say, who are transfer listed. Here, specifically like a couple of Juventus players. Asamoah's a decent player. How much did he take? Well, for him 7. Vidal. There's my right wing back if I wanted one, eh? 7.5 million though. Stefano Sturaro. If I wanted a decent centre mid, which he's got work rate. You know what? I'll scout him. Yeah, work rate, determination, missing from the team. Same with Asamoah, very good work rate as well. I mean, even though I don't really have the money for them now, you never know what's going to happen, so you should kind of leave yourself a little bit more open. Let's actually edit this search to strikers again, because that's really the position I need. I've had this guy before, Stefan Schippenlock. He actually wasn't bad, so I'm going to scout him. He's pretty cheap as well. Yeah, 1.1. He's basically a big guy, big kind of target man. It's scout Brian Pereira. He might not be much good for us. Yeah, because he's Colombian, and he might not get a work permit. I don't just have a thing about Colombians, don't worry. Okay, there's plenty of people to look at now. I did not know that was a thing. That's very interesting. I think we want to definitely upgrade to the youth players of Europe as well. I wondered why there was a lot of like, this guy actually looks alright. Gianetti, 26, striker, 100,000. We have to scout him to be able to get better like knowledge of his attributes and stuff like that. So you can scout a fair few players as well if you have a big enough scouting team. So it's well worth just, if you're like, oh, I quite like the look at this guy, just giving him a bit of a scout, because you never know. Like, it does become like, it's more and more unlikely in modern football that you're going to find somebody who is like an incredible player and really cheap, because in real life and in the game, like, scouting becomes so good that people know who everybody is. You know, it used to be back in the day, like, nobody knew who like certain players were, and someone could just kind of swoop in and pick up a cheap, like, I don't know, Austrian or Belgian player. No one would know who they were, and then suddenly they'd be really good and really cheap. It doesn't really work like that anymore. I'm just going to scout a few strikers, see if any of them are going to be useful. This guy's pretty quick. Okay. I think we wasted enough time on transfers. Okay, that's fine. Club, I kind of said before. All this is our stuff, that's fine. And it's our finances. Okay, so our first game's on the 15th of July, so it's a little way off yet. So we can just kind of click continue and go through. Yeah. And see what our inbox is. Where's my social feed? Here we go. So they have like this like social feed thing. So you have like, sometimes you have good people, like good luck Phil Plays. Sometimes literally couldn't think of anyone worse for the job than Phil Plays. What are Crystal Palace doing? Okay, a very interesting choice for Crystal Palace for the manager. We can see how things develop there. So the general consensus is some people love me, some people hate me. just like in real life. Season expectations. Expectations the board has for the coming season are as follows. Okay, so I think we can get a mid-table finish. Fifth round. I think we keep it at that. If you raise it, they will give you more money, but you will be expected to hit that. I don't know how good I am at this game yet. I've played a lot of Football Manager over the years, but the problem is that a lot of that time has been, like, they change a lot of things from game to game, so you never really know like exactly what you're doing when you start a new game. So we'll try and play a bit safe. Okay, this is interesting. A squad dynamics thing. This is new, I believe, to 18. So the team leaders are Speroni, Punch and Zaha. These are all like highly influential players. So in other words, if you upset these players, then you can have a problem. It's worth noting. These guys want Martin Kelly. They've offered 100k as a monthly fee with a view to paying 3.6 million to make the move permanently, and they'll pay all his wages. I mean, I don't really want to loan him. I'd rather sell him. But if they give me 100 grand a month and then we sell 3.6, it's not actually that bad. Plus we get 25 grand to our wage budget. Question is, am I going to use Martin Kelly? That is the question. So if we get into our squad, who have we got who can play right back? Because essentially he's a right back, isn't he? We could Joel Ward, who would be probably my better choice. Anybody under 23 is coming through who's decent. Aaron, no, not really. Yeah, okay. Okay, not really. So this is the problem though. If we sell Martin Kelly and then we end up having to buy a right back, but then again, do I want a right? I guess I don't want a right. And this is probably where I need to make a decision on tactics, isn't it? Because I usually like to play this formation, but I'm Crystal Palace and we have fantastic wingers. So what would be a much better formation would be something like this. Possibly something like this, and then go four at the back. Like that. And then like that. And then have wingers, kind of defensive players, midfielders, and then Benteke up top. And get those crosses and things like that and go counter-attack. That's probably what I'd do. So in other words, I would need a right back. And Martin Kelly would be useful as a backup right back. So at the minute I'm going to decline that. He's saying he's an important first team player. Because there's no point selling somebody if you have to spend more to replace them, especially if they're like not your first choice. And we're not even selling them, we're loaning them. Okay, so this is our press conference. So the guy from teamtalk.com, Matt Beardsmore, says, "You stand here today unveiled as the new Crystal Manager. As a big fan of the club, must be a dream come true. Absolutely. Dreamt of this moment for years. Many people think that Crystal Palace wage budget is simply too small for you to bring in high quality players. Are you going to approach Steve Barrett and ask him to keep the budget? No, I'm not, because he might sack me, and that would be really short, like series. Budget being set at current level for good reasons, I think we'll demand more right now. Do you feel your impressions are matched by the club by the chairman? Absolutely. I've no doubt the chairman has the best coverage for the half. We want to keep the chairman on our side, you know. He does employ us. Yep, I feel that I'm happy with the expectations. Bistos, if you'd be more suited to a cerebral approach to go with suit and tie style management rather than tracksuit, do you agree with that? I don't think it matters what I wear. The results are right, so I can wear whatever I like. I had to believe that you're very much a tap-minded coach. How do you tend to factor that into your day-to-day? It's something I've favoured during my development and will naturally be an area I look towards as strength there. It's often said that different managers favour different competitions. Yeah, absolutely. Premier League's my main focus. You've got to stay in the Premier League. Think about that in real life, Crystal Palace. Okay, fine. Okay, let's say this guy could be as good as Wilfs are. Interesting. We'll put him to the put him to the main squad, and we can use him in some friendlies and see how he does. I'm still waiting for those scout reports to come back. I really need to sign some players. I think the squad I've got is good enough to do okay. But we really need a striker and a goalie. Like, really need it. That's the one area that Crystal Palace failed to kind of strengthen, and it's cost us so far. So, okay, fair pay regulation, so it just means we have to avoid making a huge loss. Okay, so they scouted West Brom for us. We don't have enough coaches yet. I'm working on it, buddy. Yeah, I know, I'm working on it. Set to lose MacArthur. I would probably sell MacArthur, yeah. Oh, Lee Chung-yong is now a British citizen. Good to know. Okay, Joel Ward's only got 12 months as well. So this will tell us like about people's contracts in a year. In football, if your contract runs out, you're free to move to another club for free. Your club, if you're over 23, I think anyway, the club will get zero money for you. So it's important to know when people's contracts are going to expire. There's quite a lot of first-team players whose contracts will expire. We don't really have to worry about this until more into the season, because in like January, other clubs can make approaches for players with 6 months left on their contract. But right now we're fine. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Because Mountain over the future of James MacArthur, his contract due to expire pretty soon. Yeah, we'll say we're going to sit down with him. I'll say it'd be a drawn out process a little bit, so we're not, and yeah, we'll say drawn out process as well for Joel Ward. Okay. Just hired Del Canto's manager. Okay. It's just telling us about some important dates in July. Good stuff. How's that scouting going? Okay, James Wilson. Okay, keep scouting. James Wilson. Diego, a 19-year-old. I mean, sure, scout him. He's free. Filippo Gazzardi. It's always good to look what club they came from, because if it's a good club. Whoa, where am I going? Why am I at Italy? The hell am I doing? Okay, it wasn't a great club. I'll certainly scout him. Oh, I didn't see that last one was shit. Okay, hang on. Players. Scouted. Okay. This is kind of new to me as well, this whole kind of scout screen, stuff like that. It's interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Let's probably just get to this beginning of the preseason, then we'll finish up there, I think, for this episode. See how we do. It's going to be interesting though. Like as I said, I haven't played Football Manager for a while. Intrigued to know how good I am, how bad I am. Okay. Okay, restructure our debt. Good. Oh, okay. We've signed a chief doctor apparently. Okay, let's pre-season. Okay, let's go for a passionate. I'll introduce myself, Crystal Palace. Welcome, VC in charge. Hope you're not racer. Bad chances. I think we finished mid-table this season. Okay, they're happy with that. Exactly the sort of reaction I was after. Everybody's happy. See, it's a boost. If you say the wrong things there, it can go pretty bad. But that was okay. Damien today would be better choice as captain. He might be, but he probably won't even play. If you change your captain, that can be really bad news, especially as Punchin's a very influential player. We could have some real problem there. We'll do all this when we have a look at the tactics, which we're not looking at now because we haven't got a game for a while. Although actually I should have a look at it because they'll start learning their tactics now, so we probably should do that. Billig Aphobie. I ain't signing him. Okay, that's fine. Got any more scouts for me? Ricardo Vieira. Looks alright. I'll scout him, sure. Victor, 34-year-old Brazilian. Be a very good signing. Oh, bloody hell, it just look alright actually. Interest, extremely doubtful. I'll take him. Have we not got any, like... Okay, except Ricardo Vieira, a 37-year-old striker. That's your... Actually, he's pretty good. It's actually not terrible. How has he still got acceleration and pace when he's 37? Fucking hell, I'd actually buy this guy. Can we make a bid for him now? Can he actually play? Okay, so it's Brazilian. I don't think he'd get a work permit here. Unfortunately. Yeah, he's never even played in England before. Good player, but I'm not sure. Get an analyst report. Nikola Jelavic, he's on loan though somewhere, so yeah, we're looking at this guy. Keep scouting him. Bakary Sagna. Yep, keep scouting him. Alou Diarra. They're saying he's probably not suited. I agree, so we'll discard him. Seydou Keita. Nah, he's discard. Lookman. We're not going to be able to get him, so let's not even try. I finished scouting Stuaro. I believe it'd be a good signing. Yeah, I think it'd be a pretty good signing too. Ball-winning midfielders. I love a good ball-winning midfielder. The problem is the price, 6.5 million. Let's keep scouting him. I know Asamoah would be a good player. What's a Caroliero? I've never even heard of that before. Fuck, I'll have to Wikipedia that. We'll keep scouting him. Good championship level. Could be useful signing. He's not quite as good as I remember him being. I think he's pretty tall though, isn't he? 6'1", that's not that tall. Discard. Brian Pereira is operating on a Sky League 1. Discard. Oh, they don't rate this guy either. Nah, he's not that good. He looks, see, sometimes people look good. They're not that good. Okay. Discard him. Good championship level. Nope. Sky League 1. Okay. I don't need a defender though. As much as Sabata would probably be pretty good, I don't need a defender. I need a goalkeeper. It's Lucas Hadradeki. We'll definitely scout him. Yes, please. Get an analyst report. Okay, good. Whew, okay, I think I'm going to finish up there, guys, for now. So thanks for watching. This is pretty much how things are going to go. We will get to some football matches, I promise you, once we get into the season, but there's definitely going to be a few episodes where it's about looking at things and stuff like that. I